Hey, welcome to my channel. I have been vlogging for a couple years now. In the process, we've talked about infertility, we've talked about our fixer-upper that we've been working on, we've talked a lot about weight loss. In the last 10 months, I've been working my tail off, and so has my husband, but I'm gonna share my side of this journey of my 70-pound weight loss. I've talked about this topic before, but I thought I could really just break down the entire story for you, just from gaining the weight to losing the weight and everything in between. I hope you can handle all the garbage we have everywhere. With us working on the basement, everything is upstairs, creating a mess. One of the not great things about losing weight is I'm cold all the time. I've also noticed that because I don't have as much fat in my face, that my wrinkles are just really showing up. They've probably been there this whole time. I just haven't noticed them before, where now I'm seeing them so much more. So I've been more concerned about skincare. Perfect timing for me. The company Teamiblends reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try any of their products. So I looked over their stuff. They've got teas, like slimming teas, which I'm not really crazy into. They've also got a great skincare line. So I said, what can you give me that's gonna be like a gentle cleanser, that's gonna be good for, fine lines, good moisturizer, because I'm in the dry Utah climate. And they said, we've got just the thing. We've got this facial scrub. It's made with green tea. I tried it out the first night with Stuart. I even made him put on a little headband, and we both just scrubbed our faces. You can, if you use a lot of product, you can really exfoliate deeply if you want to, but if you want a more gentle cleanse, which is what I've done more recently, just because I think the hard scrubbing, I don't think you should do too often. Your skin is just so gentle and delicate. So if you just use more water and less product, it's more of a smooth, very, very mild cleanse. And so I've been doing that every day for a couple weeks, and I feel like my skin looks pretty good. I've really liked it. I feel like their price is fair, and in fact, and speaking of price, they are giving my followers a discount. I'll put the link in the description box, so go check it out. You can get a discount off of any of the products, not just the facial scrub that I've used, but if you do want to try the tea, if you want to get a moisturizer, a face oil, whatever you want to try, they're going to give you a discount, so go check it out. Thank you, Teamy, for reaching out for me and for letting me review the product. I really loved it. So in high school, I would say I was a pretty healthy weight. I never thought I was thin. I have always had like really strong legs. So as a teenager, I thought I was fat, even though, looking back and having wisdom and hindsight and time and age, I realized like I was at a healthy weight, and I wish I would have appreciated my body more at that age. Anyway, because of that, I was constantly dieting. I was doing low calorie, and then I would not eat enough and then binge, and then not eat enough and then binge. I had a hard time keeping portion sizes in control. It was either too small or too big, and I probably worked out too much. I was pretty young when I met Stuart. We dated for 2 years though before we got married. So in the first 3 months of marriage, I think I gained 20 to 30 pounds. I mean, I wasn't too far removed from my teenage days at that point, so I started the vicious dieting cycle. I would yo-yo all the time. When we started to try to have kids, things weren't working. I gained quite a bit of weight. Both Stu and I were at a very low point in our lives. We ate so much food. I remember a specific dinner, and we hit like 3 different fast food places to get our perfect meal. And I think a couple snacks at a gas station to take home with us too. It was out of control. We were eating so terribly, almost kind of abusing our bodies. I think because of it was easier to feel the pain on the outside than dealing with the pain that we were suffering with on the inside. Anyway, you know the history. We've talked about it. I'll put links in the description because I've talked about this so much that anyone who has followed us has heard this story like 400 times. So over the process of doing 3 IVFs, we gained more and more and more weight, to the point that I was about 70 pounds overweight. After our IVF miscarriage last spring, I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I was crushed. It was a level of crushed that I never thought would happen to me, that I never thought would happen to anyone, because when you read forums online, everyone has these miracle stories. I really thought we were in for our miracle. We had this miracle grant that we were given. We had these miracle embryos that were fighting so hard. Like, to have it end in failure was so hard. It's still kind of triggering sometimes, so I'm gonna brush past this topic. Except thinking back to that girl, heavier than ever, having another miscarriage, having invested so much time and so much money, my heart goes out to her. I mean, and that's weird because I know that's me, but it's like, it's a different form of me. I actually wrote a journal entry about this entire experience. I'm gonna save that for another vlog because this is gonna be long enough as it is. If you'd like me to share that journal entry about my perspective of that girl versus where I am now, I'm gonna do a card. And you can click yes or no if you'd be interested in me reading that journal entry. People who followed my vlog for a while know that that's something I do sometimes, is read journal entries on the vlog as a way to cope with my feelings and emotions. Anyway, let's go back to that moment though. So that girl, she was just so broken. The crazy thing was is that there was this like feeling so deep inside me that said like, this is temporary, this is not forever, you're gonna come out of this. You do not end here. You have a strength inside you. You know it's there. You've been strong in so many different ways. You will come out of this. And so at those times, I decided to start signing up for diet bets, and I did a healthy wage. I am so close to finishing my healthy wage. I'll do another video about that as well. I have like 1 week left and like 2 pounds left to lose. Oh, I'm so close. I'll talk about that in another video. I've also talked about Diet Bet endlessly. I'll put cards or links in the description if you have more interest in Diet Bet. All the money I'm making from those I'm putting towards whatever we attempt for the next baby thing. Still don't know. Because I had done so many diets. I had done Whole30. I'd done low carb, low calorie, Weight Watchers, shake, LA weight loss. I have so many different things. In that moment of feeling like so low and feeling like such a failure, I had this like flip in my brain that instead of hating my body, I like felt this respect for my body. Because the thing is like my body is plagued with endometriosis. And it tried so hard to give babies. It really did its best. And so instead of hating it for what it couldn't do, I was trying to love it for what it tried to do. And it really tried. I just could not put my body through like a crazy restrictive diet. Like, now that you've been through all this failure, you're not gonna get sugar, you're not gonna get bread, you're not gonna get dairy, you're getting nothing. You're fatter than you've ever been and you're gonna have to suffer. Like, I'd suffered so much. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Oh, I feel emotional. I wanted to treat my body like a friend. So this time I said, we're gonna go at a pace that works for you, body. We are going to eat foods that you love, body. We're gonna do workouts that you enjoy. I will not make you suffer. I cannot do that to you. You tried so hard and you are suffering so terribly. I will make this good for you. I've been able to lose 70 pounds. It's taken me about 10 months and it's been great. I feel so much better. It's weird, like, don't mind this. This is a shirt so that you can't see through this really thin shirt. But I have like collarbones. Like, how did that happen? It's so weird. I feel healthy for me. I want to start working more on lifting weights and a little less towards pounds lost, but I feel really good. And I have been getting so much praise these days. People I don't even realize at work have been coming up to me and asking me how I've been losing the weight. And it's so funny because in my head, I'll tell them like, oh, I'm listening to my body. And no one seems satisfied with that answer. They usually want to hear like, I did this thing. And then they can, then go do that thing. But when I say, just listen to your body and take responsibility, it's like, I don't want to hear that. But the funny thing is like, to me, when I'm receiving this praise right now, I wish I could like go back and give that praise to me in the spring of last year, because it's not as hard right now. Right now, it's become lifestyle. It's been almost a year of this. I've changed the way that I do things long enough that it's just routine now. But in the springtime, that was when it was hard. No one was complimenting that girl. No one was asking her what she was doing. She had to do it all by herself without any validation. I just like wish I could thank her. The thing though is like, some people are like, yeah, but I want pizza all the time. And I'm like, okay, but when you really break that down, like, of course pizza is so yummy and I love pizza too. When you eat a massive amount of pizza followed by a chocolate shake, followed by, M&Ms or whatever, and you've had breadsticks on the side and a soda, like when you think back and like you really internalize and you think of how your body feels, like do you ever feel like, man, I feel so good. I feel like I have tons of energy. I feel like I could get these chores done. Like, no, you feel tired. You usually, like for me, when I eat that type of food, I get headaches and migraines. I can barely open my eyes the next morning. Like, your body doesn't like that. It doesn't. Not to say it doesn't like it occasionally. So I have still had pizza. I have still had cookies. I have still had milkshakes, but I just have not had it in big portions because my body doesn't like it. And when I'm feeling these cravings, like I need to have an entire package of Oreos, really I have to, again, internalize and think, what is it that I want? And most of the time it's like, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm bored. Like, it's not a physical craving, it's an emotional issue. And so I have to sit and figure out what the emotional trigger is and then work towards satisfying that. And then it soothes my body. So it's this process of working with my mind and my body to get to a good and healthy place so that I can still feed my body properly and I'm still addressing and taking care of my emotional issues. I don't have like a specific diet plan. That's the thing, is I think everyone's bodies are so different. Because I think we are so bombarded with information on how to do things that we put so much faith in someone else that we take away our own intrinsic cues that we have within us. And we become disconnected. And being disconnected from your body just feels so lost. You just don't know what to do. You don't know where to start. It's hard, it's confusing. With workouts too, there were, especially in the beginning, I felt so weak that I did not have the energy to do like HIIT workouts or circuit training or even weightlifting. I just know I needed blood flow. I needed oxygen. And so I would just do treadmill walks. And at first it was like, just walk at a 3-mile per hour speed on the treadmill and watch Netflix for 30 minutes. That's all you gotta do. On the days I had more energy, I also would use that and try to give more to my workouts, especially after so many months when I felt like I had a little bit more physical capability, because your body's just gonna naturally improve its endurance and its strength when you're dropping weight. So it's gonna have less to carry, it'll just be easier to do. I also began to research, and again, a whole other video. Man, I have so much to say about this. Like I said, I have a huge passion for it. I started researching hormones and how they affect your body during your cycle. So usually at the start of the month, you have a lot of energy. You are burning more calories because of that energy. After you ovulate, you have less energy. Your hormones start to tank, assuming you're not pregnant. So you're gonna feel more tired. You're actually gonna have more cravings. And so a lot of the things and the cravings you feel are actually a hormonal response to what's going on with your cycle. I started tracking how I was feeling and my weights when I started my cycle compared to my ovulation, compared to 2 weeks later, and I started seeing a lot of consistency. So that, like I said, is a whole other video that I do hope to share soon. I have been tracking my food though. It's not like I am just listening to my body like, what do I eat, body? What do I do? I've been meal prepping, I've been meal planning, but I try to do foods that I love. You know, there are so many healthy recipes that are so tasty. Oh, fly on my wall. And I just try to find recipes that look great. So I've been doing that, and I do track stuff on MyFitnessPal. There have been some days where I fall off the wagon completely. I mean, this hasn't happened often. Even if I have a day where I like totally lose control, the next day I am back on track. I don't let that day turn into a weekend and then into a week and then into a month, which is what I used to do. And when I have treats now, they're one portion size. I don't lose control. I'll drink it with a big drink of water and it's not because it's like, oh, you have to follow your calories today, but it's because I know if I overeat, I'm going to feel like garbage. So it's doing it for what my body wants me to do. Anyway, this is so long. Thank you for listening. If you listened to the entire thing, check out Teamiblends if that's something you're interested in. I just tried it to review it, that's all, and I do quite like it. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you want Stuart to share his story as well, I can have him pop on and do a story. I think that'll do it for now. Have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.